All right, so very productive day so far. Now we are heading down to another church in Petersburg, back down there in the area to do an on-site with them because they're looking to enhance what they're doing for their media ministry. Y'all know what's going on. It's not like we talk about anything different. We're just helping more people. So let's get up out of here. Also, we're going to be heading to Spring Creek tomorrow morning because community independent, we're going to be back down there at noon to continue what we're doing. But at Spring Creek, we need to replace the camera that was damaged, as well as hang the camera under that wall. So we're going to do that and then head on the opposite end of town to finish doing some stuff from prep work for community. Yeah. And then we got some other stuff to do. I got a bunch of videos to edit tonight. So let's go. All right, folks, we are here. We are at Greater Faith A.M.E. Zion Church down here in Petersburg. So let me go take my regular picture and then let's head in and see what we can do to help them out. Alrighty, folks, another on-site. They're excited. They pretty much said, send me your estimate because we're going to do it. So we got another one we're going to be working on. Excited about that. And I guess we're going to see y'all in Draw.io, and we designed this whole thing. We have two rooms that we're actually going to do, the main sanctuary and the fellowship hall as well, to be able to live stream and then also do one as a pass-through. So, and then we got Mike is doing all the audio, so I'm not gonna have to worry about that. So let me go to my church to fix some stuff, and then we'll be back in front of the computer to design the system. All right, folks, so we are back and we have another design that we're about ready to do. This one is similar, but we have a unique situation with this to where we need to be able to have a split AV system. So the video is going to be in one room, audio mixer is going to be somewhere else, but then at the same time, the fellowship hall, or I forgot what they are calling that room, but it needs to be available to show whatever's in the sanctuary, but at any given time, it can be completely separate and can have the exact same functionality as the sanctuary. So let's go ahead and cut over to the computer. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. So there's going to be a lot more research that's needed for this because it is a very deep sanctuary. So TVs might not be the only option. Might look at doing kind of a projector, short throw projector type of thing. So I'm going to keep that option open. So just realize that we can go with projectors or we can go with TVs. It all depends. So I'm just going to have the wiring in place, and we can always, if we went with projectors, I don't want to go in the ceiling with those. I want to have them as close as possible. So we'll see. But let's start with the basics. In this scenario, I'm probably going to go with the A.M.E television studio for this. So let's go A.M.E TVS, because we're going to have a dedicated streaming system for this. They want to go with 2 PTZs. They already have a joystick, a Sony one that supports Visca, so we don't need to go with a different controller, but we will convert that over to Ethernet so we can run cables and we don't have to worry about the long distance and all that other good stuff like that, because I think right now it's wired for RS422. So let's go ahead and get our cameras here, and let's go with our traditional, what we do. Now what we're going to do is actually wire this for additional cameras, even though they're not going to be used. So we're going to have, I might as well just put them all here. Makes it easier for my wiring. I mean, my diagram, I guess. There we go. So we'll just say this is front PTZ, back PTZ, left PTZ, and right PTZ, and I actually need another one. This is going to be our I don't know, I'll just say fellowship hall. All right, so at any point in time we need to be able to have this one be completely separate. I guess I should put this over here somewhere so that we can do this separately. Now I'm going to do something different in here. I'm actually going to use a A10 Mini Pro on this side, I believe. I don't know. Now I got to think about it, because the A.M.E television studio will allow us to not have to do converters here, but maybe we can do a A10 Mini Extreme over here, because this will give us the ability to connect this to TVs, but we don't have to worry about another computer over here. So this whole thing can be portable. So I think I do like that. We're going to have a dedicated streaming PC on this side. So streaming PC, and maybe also a laptop. It all depends. And this will be for presentation, excuse me. Now the benefit of doing this, we can also maybe get a dual laptop. Since the laptop, we can just move it over to this side. So that would be good as a possibility. So let's do our joystick as well. And we're going to put dual joysticks in place. Another one is going to be over here. And I don't know, I might actually even do a AV cans over here, or one of the AI tracking ones over here. That will make that easier, but we need to have a controller anyway to control this. All right, so this laptop, like I said, is portable. That would be the one that can come and go and move over here if need be. So let's go ahead and wire this up. This is going to be HDMI. And of course, these are going to be SDI, and they can go directly in because we don't need to convert those. Now, again, all of these are not going to actually be used. Again, these are just going to be wired if they decide to go in this direction, just to, if they're going to do this work, they don't want to piecemeal it. They want to put everything into it so that it's done right. Which I can appreciate for that. Let's get all of our stuff lined up here. And let me cheat here. Let's change this so I don't have to redo all this. So this is going to be SDI. SDI to go that. So the left and right, I'm gonna put this as a gradient, or can we do dotted lines? Something like that. Because this is the ones that do not exist, but it will be wired. Also, there is no network. Everything is just Wi-Fi in there. So we need to also put a switch there and wire all this up. This is going to be a PoE switch, maybe a similar PoE switch that we're doing at Community, because this will allow us to power all of these over PoE. I guess we'll do that as red. Like I said, we're putting the jacks here so it saves us in the future. Because if everything is already wired there, hey, guess what? That's one less thing we have to worry about. So that's Cat 6 PoE. That way we can tell which one is which. I don't know why I put my label behind everything. There we go. All right, so we got that. Now we also need to wire these, and these are going to daisy chain. So we're going to connect these. And of course, these will be done more appropriately in their range. So we'll probably start off with going to the back PTZ first, and then just make the loop around. So that gives us control. That handles this, line in, line out, line in, line out, and so forth. So the cameras are controlled by the PoE switch. We're also going to connect the streaming PC as well as the A.M.E television studio and the laptop as well. Cat 6 for internet. And boom, there we go. Now, what we're going to do is the aux output is going to go here. and that is SDI. So that's going to go into a DeckLink mini recorder to stream. So that's cool. Our main, of course, we have our multi-view here. Now this is going to be, all of this is going to be in a room in the front of the sanctuary. So this is going to be a monitor that's most likely mounted on the wall. This is going to be HDMI, and we made that blue, right? All right. So we got, let's do it this way. That's here. And now, like I said, we could do projectors. We could do TVs. We want to have, and this is going to be a unique situation. So actually, I'm not going to use the aux out for this one, because we are going to do a, let's slide this over here. This is going to be SDI distribution. So we got this one. It's coming over here. SDI. And I'll say that's the program out. This one is going to feed the streaming PC. And what I'll do for right now is I'm going to say that these are our left display and right display in the sanctuary. And I'm going to repurpose the aux for this very reason. And now I think about it, I'm not going to do a presentation. No, I think I am going to stick with a presentation. We need to add another adapter on this, and I'll explain why. So this is going to be HDMI 2. And the reason for this is going to give us our stage display. So this is going to, of course, we need our adapters here. So that's SDI to HDMI. Right there. And honestly, if we had a projector, I would most likely, well, I'll probably do the same thing. Or we could do a HD base T. Doesn't really matter. We have multiple choices on this, which I like. So again, that's SDI out. Now this one, we're going to come from the aux out. And the reason why we're going to do this is actually going to be back display. And this is going to be stage display. So just like we did for community, we're going to run 2 line ins from our system, from our presentation PC. And this will allow us to do the regular output that's going to go for the congregation to see. But then the display out is going to allow us to route that into the ATEM television studio, set the aux out to always display the second output from this system, and then run a line directly from the aux out into the back display. So that would give us our stage display for anybody that's on the pulpit or the choir stand. All right. And I need to, of course, redo my wiring, because Draw.io did not like what I did. Aux out. All right, that's what we got so far. All right, and again, we could easily, with this setup, we can switch this out with projectors if we wanted to. and that will work. We still have an additional, and I didn't ask how many other TVs that they had in the sanctuary that they want to be displayed. We only talked about the sanctuary and the fellowship hall. Didn't talk about if you wanted one in the entrance and all this other stuff. So I need to make a note about that. Now, how are we going to do the split? What we're going to do is we're going to have another SDI to HDMI converter going into the ATEM Mini Extreme or the ATEM Mini Pro. I really think I might just use the ATEM Mini Pro in this, but the Extreme was the purpose of having a multi-view so you can see what's going on. But I'm thinking since we're only going to have one monitor going out, we might not need to do that. So I don't know. So inside of the fellowship hall area, there are actually 4 televisions. Excuse me, no, there are 4, because there's another one that's not present that's on the stage that they actually want to use. So let's space these out here. So display 1, display 2, display 3, display 4. Now, in this scenario, they did not say that they wanted these TVs to show something different. So this is all going to be wired, so that it's exactly the same. The other benefit of this is it's only one PTZ in this room. So it's going to be a direct connection here. So this is fine. We need to have a SDI to HDMI converter here for this PTZ that's going to be in the center of the room that can do completely all around and get whatever it needs to in that room. So that's going to be input number 1. Input number 2 is going to be the output from the SDI distribution from the sanctuary. Now, actually, no, I want to change that. What we're going to do is send this over to another SDI distribution box. I'm trying to think, what would be the easiest way? You know what, let's do another one of the ORI ones. And we're going to do a 1x4 matrix extender. Because what we'll do is move our SDI to HDMI converter into here. Let's move this to the back and bring this to the front. So that's SDI. All right. So SDI signal is coming from the sanctuary into this ORI matrix, which handles the units that goes to each one of these TVs over Ethernet. All right. So that saves us from having to have multiple converters and all this other fun stuff. All right. So let's color that appropriately. I don't know why it does that. There we go. So that's Cat 6. So, and it sends power, so we don't have to worry about that. It goes directly to the TV. So that's good. And those are TVs in there, so we don't have to worry about that. And you know what? I think I just messed myself up. Yes, I actually did mess myself up because there's RG6 already going to each one of these TVs. They just have a horrible amount of adapters that are being sent there. So, man, I gotta think how we're gonna do this, because let's undo all of this wiring here. There's already cables going to each one. So I think what we're going to do is do another SDI distribution that will go to each one of the TVs. There's already actually also a converter already on each TV. So as long as they can maintain good quality, we don't need to buy new ones. They will just use the same ones that are already there. So that saves us extra money for doing that. All right, so let's bring these down so I can have some more space. All right. So we need to find whatever distribution matrix they're using, update it just like we did at St. Matthew's. And let's delete this because I'm going to come back to this. All right. So I know this sounds messy, but the way I think this would work is we can do an HDMI switch. All right. So what would happen? Actually, there's two ways we can do this. Let's make it the simpler way. Let's just run an SDI cable into that new updated matrix that's there in the sanctuary. I mean, because for all we know, this could actually be ran back here, and we just got to run 4 lines. You know what? Let's do it that way. So sorry for the confusion. This is just trying to figure this stuff out on the fly here. So what we're going to do, we're just going to assume that all of these lines are coming from the sanctuary already, and we're just upgrading the source. So instead of it being SD, we're going to be sending a pure HD signal. All right. Actually, let me just move this out of the way so we have some more space. Whew, this is getting interesting. All right. All right, so pretty much HDMI 1, the way it's set up right now for each one of these TVs, gives us the signal from the sanctuary. We are going to add another ORI HDMI 1x4. This is going to give us our HDMI output from our A.M.E Pro, and then we're going to run that to each one of our TVs. Let's color these appropriately so we know which one is which. So that's going to be over Cat 6, has the adapter that sends power to it. So this is going to be a completely separate input, but this is going to be HDMI input 2 for each TV. So HDMI 1 gets the signal from the Sanctuary. HDMI 2 is going to get the signal from the A.M.E Pro that's in that room. And we don't need another system because the A.M.E Pro can live stream itself. We can move the laptop over there to give us some control. We'll train them on that. So there we go. And this one, we're going to have to put another PoE switch in this area, which is going to give us our connection to our camera. This one, this is going to be Cat 6 as well too, to cover that distance. Going to connect to the ATEM, give that internet access, and then this is going to bridge all the way back from this one to give internet, hardline internet, into this switch in that area. All right. So that's interesting. All right. Now, I'm not even including the fact that Mike is actually going to be doing the soundboard. He's actually thinking about doing an X32 compact there, and he's going to handle all the audio. He's going to run a line from the back of the Sanctuary into the front room of where this is. So that's going to give me audio into the ATEM. And I'm just going to do that one as, I don't know what, green. So that's going to be XLR audio. All right. So that's how we're going to get sound. That's going to filter out to everything else. So I believe that is everything in this setup. I hope it is. And I just noticed I wasn't paying attention. Hopefully my picture-in-picture did not block everything. If not, I'll have to remove that in post. So I think that is it. So I'm going to take this laptop here and connect that as well, just in case. And how can I style this? I want to do some, see, this one don't let me do dotted lines around this one. Oh well. So that's going to be there. So that will give the ability to have the system run this way, or it changes. So hopefully that works. Yeah, this is going to be a unique one here. I need to design some stuff for a rack and all this other stuff like that. So that's going to be some extra stuff. But hopefully that gives you an idea of how we can do this, and we're setting them up for the future. The ceiling is really, really high. So we're going to need to get a lift and get in there to do all this other stuff and find out uniquely how we're going to be able to run the cameras, the cables to that back room. I think it's a crawl space to get there. But the sound should be easy because I think Mike is going to run a digital snake so we can get a cable to where we need to, and we can just tap off of that for the sound. The main thing is to how we're going to get the cables where they need to go. I would ideally like to run conduits down into the floor if it's a crawl space and get them that way, and we don't have to do up in the ceiling. But yeah, that's looking forward to this one. This was an interesting challenge, and it was kind of cool to go there and talk with them. That a lot of the other churches that we've done in the area, that was our the confidence builder for them, because they talked to a couple of churches, and we've done work for other churches in that area. So that's good. That's how the no advertising works. That's the Tesla mentality. Your customers are the best advertisers. So I'm thankful that people recommended me to other ministries and signed off that I did good work. So that makes me feel good that people are happy with the stuff that I did and they didn't regret contacting me. But yeah, I'll have a link in the description for everything that we do. And when we go and do the install, of course, y'all know y'all be coming with me. Like I said, link is down below to everything that we're going to talk about. Let me know if you have any other questions. I will try to get back to you as soon as I possibly can. So if you like this type of content, I appreciate a like, consider subscribing and hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ. We will see you on the next video. Later.